Welcome to Gospel Diaries, a platform that offers a unique avenue for artists to share their stories, express their emotions, thoughts, and personal journeys. Today we celebrate the holiday season with Andre Cunningham.
These are the days of his servant Moses, righteousness being restored. These are the days of the harvest and the fields that are wine in the world, yeah. And we are the laborers in your vineyard declaring the word of the Lord. Everybody say, riding and we're shining at the trumpet's call. You ought to lift your voice. Year of Jubilee out of Zion's hill. These are the days of Elijah.
What's going on, Gospel Diaries? Listen, I'm excited as always to bring you yet another episode. And I'm yet in the city of Chicago. This is the holiday season. This is 2024. I think this is November 27th. And when you look to my right and he's on your left, this man's name is Andre Cunningham. Yeah. And he's a part of Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer, the new generation. And I'm so excited to be sitting with him. I know you see him on Facebook, all of Cosmopolitan social media pages. And you see him singing, he's in the choir, he's very animated, and we're just so excited. And I thought it was befitting to come to Chicago and celebrate you for your work with Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer. So what's going on, Andre?
Nothing much.
Shake your hand.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Blessings on top of blessings. What's going on with you?
Nothing much.
Really,
I'm so honored to be here.
I appreciate that. Are you from Chicago?
I'm not. I'm actually from Waukegan.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought you was going to say, yeah.
No. I want to be, but I'm like, nah, I'm from the suburbs.
Waukegan, Illinois.
Yeah.
So that's close up by Gurney or something like that. Okay.
Right,
what was you doing up in Waukegan?
So I was actually traveling here for my uncle's church, Bishop Bernard McKenzie, Sr., and I was a member there. And the way I got introduced to him was a funeral. So my grandmother, which is his mother, passed away, and I kind of got connected to the McKenzie family. And I'm like, I've never seen church like this. And this was a funeral. How they having church like this? And so I started coming every Sunday, driving from Waukegan to Chicago to come to church. And I'm like, I really like it here. So I became a member there. And then one day, one of my friends from McKenzie Mission was like, let's go by Cosmo. They got 5 o'clock. And my uncle, he had 2 services. He had 11 and then 7. So I'm like, okay, we got time in between. Let's go to Cosmo, which I didn't know anything about Cosmo. And when we got there, I was just like, I like it here too. And just to see the energy from the choir, and then Pastor Smith had just became the pastor. And ever since then, I was hooked.
What in the world is going on in Waukegan? Was you going to church out there?
I was.
What church were you going to?
So I was going to a church called New Way of Life. I don't know if you guys know.
Is it non-denomination?
It was Kojic.
What?
Believe it or not, yeah. Kojic.
The things that you've learned. Okay.
So you know Dillian Richards?
Of course.
So her parents' church.
What was the song? Rainbow?
Colors touch the ground. Comes a carnival to town. Oh, God, put a rainbow in my window.
Yep.
And Robert Richards. Yeah, those were my pastors. My family, that was like my family church. So we were all in there. And so that's where I started. That's where I actually found out I could sing.
Really? So talk about when you found out you could sing.
When I found out I could sing, it scared me because I didn't know I had it in me. So Debbie Richards, one day, I think it was for Easter, they were starting a children's choir, and I didn't want to sing whatsoever. I just wanted to be a regular member and just come to church with my grandma. I was like really hooked to my grandma. So one day my grandma was like, where y'all going? Because every weekend all the boys would go to my grandma's house, like all of us. There's so many of us. And we went to this rehearsal. And she like, you can sing. And I'm looking at her like, no, I cannot. That lady, I don't know what she did, but she like hit me in my stomach. And she was like praying, but she had hit me in my stomach. And that's when I found out I could sing. And when I found out I could sing, you couldn't stop me. Like,
She was a Kojic mother, wasn't she?
yeah.
Okay, well, you know the Kojic mothers, you know, they come from power.
Yeah. And she, my stomach, I'm like, Jesus.
Talk about like your father's memories growing up during the holiday season.
The holiday season, oh, that's a little emotional because my grandmother would always be the one to bring the family together. My grandmother, she passed in 2018. My grandma passed away, but that was like the pillar of our family. But the thing about my grandma, we were always gonna eat after Thanksgiving because she would not have the food ready until about midnight. So we knew at grandma's house that we were all gonna be in there.
She cooked on Thanksgiving Day.
She did.
Jesus.
And we're all waiting. We're all waiting. Like, Grandma, when the food gonna be ready? I'm hungry.
Wow. Okay, so what was on the table? Like, what was
everything you could name?
Come on.
Turkey, ham. I feel like Shirley Caesar, chicken, hog, mog, turkey. You name it. And like everything was there. And even desserts. I mean, caramel cakes, pound cakes. That's why I love pound cake. Like, I don't really do desserts, but pound cake is my favorite because my grandma used to make the best pound cakes.
Now, did you do any cooking? Did you learn to bake or cook?
No.
Can you cook now?
I can.
What can you cook?
I would say my specialty is I love pinto beans.
Okay.
So I make a mean bean.
Okay. So you were in Waukegan, and what age again did you come to Chicago?
Oh, I probably was 18 or 19. I had just graduated high school when I got introduced to Bishop McKenzie. So yeah, I was like 18.
And when you got to Chicago, what did you start doing? Like, did you find a job? Did you just?
No, I just strictly came here for church, and that was it. Yeah. Wow. If we had a church outing, I was here for the church outings.
That speaks a lot about you,
yeah.
And perhaps that I know your heart. I know you love that church that you're at right now, and that's why I want to sit and talk to you because man, I see you now on social media. You're doing like the Get Ready With Me videos. Those are phenomenal. I even remember like when you all was on Champlain, and I think that you were like spearheading the social media and to a certain degree, and I would watch you. And so you have been very, very beneficial to Cosmopolitan, as well as Cosmopolitan has been beneficial to you. So as you look back today, like what would you say is the most beneficial thing that you have got from Cosmopolitan?
Well, first of all, Pastor Darrell Smith is a person where he wants to give everybody a chance. I'm trying not to get emotional, y'all, but he's seen a lot in me that I didn't see in myself. And when he asked me, he seen a video on social media of me singing and asked me to join the webcast choir. And I was like, with Cosmo, I did my research because I really didn't know, in Waukegan, very sheltered, I really didn't know a lot about Cosmo. So when I found out who they were, I'm like, oh my God, this is the song my mom used to make us clean up to. Jesus can work it out. So once I came in contact with Pastor Darrell, I joined the webcast choir. I was just honored that he even said, hey, I want you to try this song. And it was one of the songs that was recorded on I forget the name of the album, but it was like, have your way in my life, Lord, use me. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And I was trying to sing the song like the person on the record, of course. And Pastor was like, just be you. Be who you are. And I'm honored and grateful for Pastor. Shout out to Pastor Darrell Smith. Everybody that comes to Cosmo, he gonna give them a chance. He don't care who you are. And the first thing he gonna ask you, can you sing? Half the people know they can't sing, but I thank God for Pastor Darrell because he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So.
Wow, that is amazing, man. So I have to ask you before we take our first little intermission, can you give us some Christmas Carol or something?
A Christmas Carol.
Something, Joy to the World, Silent Night. No, before you do that, I forget. I want to ask you this. So man, because I have the same passion for Diane Williams, and you said so it was just to work it out, right? So when you met Diane Williams, what was that like? I
was really thirsty. It was like, because my uncle knew her, Bishop Mackenzie. Yes. I'm like, I'm Bishop Mackenzie's nephew. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
She all chill, and I'm just excited, like, oh my God. So I was actually honored, and the more I became a member at Cosmo, like the more I like watched her, like, oh my God, how can she remember it? And I prayed to God, which is crazy. I prayed to God to give me not her gift, because Pastor Darrell teaches us all the time. A lot of times we want people's gifts, but we don't know what they went through to have the gifts that they got. So I pray to God and say, man, I want to be able to quote scriptures or that growl and all that stuff. And before I knew it, it was in me. So shout out to Diane Williams, because it's people that are still, even still to this day, they watch her. They some of them, they mock some of the stuff that she does, but I was just able just to be standing on those shoulders. It's like, it's amazing. So.
All right, give us a song.
See, what about Jingle Bells? Can I sing Jingle?
Yes. Church it though. Can you gospel fire?
Let me think. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Man, you just invoked the spirit of Ella Fitzgerald. Hey, we'll be back.
And I love her.
Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye. Diaries. Listen, I'm enjoying myself. We're with Andre, y'all. This is the man that you see every Sunday night, with that tambourine. That's he's so active with the tambourine boys, and this is Andre. So we're so happy to have him. So we're gonna change the gears a little bit here now. We need some encouragement from you, okay? So you are part of the younger generation, and a lot of the older people that watch Cosmo may not agree with everything. So I want to ask you from a young perspective, how do you deal with the naysayers? How do you deal with the heat when people are saying things that may not be as fair or as true as, so how do you deal with that?
Well, some of the stuff I actually take into consideration. A lot of times I was tick boom with people's stuff. Like if you came for me, I was coming back for you in the comment section or that. But I've learned to take a step back. As I became Minister Andre Cunningham, I really had to, okay, you can't respond like you want to respond. But honestly, I have grown from some of the comments that people might have said.
Beautiful.
So, and I know like with us younger people, we don't like to listen or you can't tell me nothing. But I thank God for those that are around me that have like really poured into me and say, hey, people are looking at you now. And even when you think people ain't looking, they looking. They may not say nothing, but they're watching, they're listening. And so that's why I am the person that I am today. And I'm so humble and I'm so grateful to God that I didn't really blow up after people, because it can be hard, especially being an influencer. You're gonna have people that are gonna come for you. They're gonna scandalize you, make up stuff that ain't even true. But you have to keep going and know who God has called you to be.
Mm-hmm. I love that perspective. Now we have to talk about appearance because I dealt with it. I guess I am older, middle age, whatever. I'm 40 years old, but like I wanted to wear dreads and things of that sort. My mom didn't want. We went through a lot.
Okay.
So to see it still going on, I want to hear from your perspective. How do you deal with people criticizing your identity, your appearance?
Oh, I wear that like that. I wear my clothes, so I take them, I put it on, I take it off. It took me a long time, y'all, to get to where I am. I've always had an eye for fashion. I always loved clothes, but as mom had struggles here and there, so she couldn't dress us like she wanted to, but we looked good. We were still, but so when I was able to buy my own clothes, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring Dre. You're gonna not only feel my personality, but you're gonna also see it through my clothes as well. And people say what they say, but that's what pushes me to go harder.
I like it.
Oh, you ain't like this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you see me next week? Next week, I'm really gonna, I'm really gonna let you have it next week. And I really don't think about people when I get dressed. Mm-hmm. This is how I express myself.
Encouragement as it relates to your peers.
So I've always wanted to be, when I was younger, I used to always want to be famous. That was always my verbiage. Wow. Like, I want to be famous. I want to be famous. But as I'm 30 years old now, as I got older, now my thing is here that I want to make an impact. I want to influence. And I think that on my journey as I'm, maturing in God, maturing spiritually, that's what I live by. Let me encourage somebody else. Yeah, I used to be tick born, but let me tell you what I did to cope. Now I'm going shopping to calm myself down and little things like that. Because sometimes, how can I say this? Sometimes people look at people's appearance and they automatically judge them and they say, they shouldn't have worn this. But I had to learn because I got actually a situation where somebody said, don't wear those shoes again. And I said, this is all my mom could afford. So this is why I'm wearing these shoes or whatever. And I had to, now that I look back on it, because my mom used to say, well, tell them if they don't want you to wear them shoes to buy you some. So now I got to be like, well, buy me some. You give me the shoes that you want to see me in. But I don't know. I just, I'm telling you, I've grown a lot to where I don't let that stuff bother me really. You got to keep going through it. So I just really want to make an impact on young people and encourage them. Hey, you continue being you. That I live by that. Just be you.
Yeah. Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye. I want you to kind of elaborate on like the whole phenomenon of like social media influencer, and how did you decipher or how did you find your niche to go forward in as it relates to being an influencer?
So when I started my business, Blink Into It, the eyelash thing, that was kind of something too where people judged because they didn't understand what I was doing. But then I built this audience to where people wanted to see me do the makeup or sell my lashes. But I will also, I don't know how it became ministry, but I started encouraging people. I started singing to people. I started praying for people. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And so that's how I found my niche. And then people started loving me. People started sending stuff to my house as far as gifts. This one lady, I will never forget this, furnished my whole entire living room.
What?
Because of my words on social media. And the blessings just kept coming. So I'm like, God, how do I continue this? And I go back to that word, be you. Mm-hmm. A lot of times God can't bless you because you're too busy being somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I thank God that I'm comfortable in my skin now. And so I'm able to spread that to somebody else and say, hey, it's okay to be who you are and still praise God. It's okay to have balance and still be a child of God. And that's where I really, 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 really got my strength from to continue the social media stuff, because I've influenced so many people, older people, like you're saying. I'm thinking I'm reaching younger people. I was reaching older people. I'll never forget, there's a person that had COVID and they said, I just so happened to be in their For You page. And it's a song I made up when I go live. You know I'm live because I sing it in the beginning of the thing. And I say I want to record it one day. And when I sang this song, they said they played it over and over and over. And before they know, they were healed from COVID. And they said they thank me all the time. I'm like, oh my God, you never know who's watching you.
Wow. I love it. I love it. And as we close this segment, all right, so we have decided on a song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What we gonna do?
Walk in the light.
Take it away.
Walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Walk all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world. Walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Shine all around us by day and by night. Jesus, the light of the world.
Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye.
You gave me a breath, you gave me my ways to run so race. I trust in you. I trust in you. You picked me up one day, my eyes came open and wide, gave me joy completely, my needs you will supply. I trust in you. I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. Hey, hey, hey. Trust in you. Hey, hey, hey. Lord, I trust in you. Hey, hey, hey. Lord, I trust in you. 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 Lord, I trust in you.
Welcome back to Gospel Diaries. Listen, we are having a blast. You ain't went nowhere. You're still sitting right here. Mm-hmm. I want you to show your shirt. Your shirt on. What?
Black male CEO.
That's important.
Yes, sir.
That's important.
So it was actually during the pandemic. I was praying to God, like, God, I really wanted to learn makeup. I really wanted to learn makeup. And people I knew that knew how to do it, they didn't want to teach me. Like, watch YouTube, go to school, of course. But I'm more of a hands-on person where I want to learn right on the spot. And so I prayed to God. My favorite scripture, y'all, is write the vision and make it plain. I'll get back to that. I prayed to God and I said, God, since I can't really get the makeup stuff down pat, give me something that still is, in the lines of that. So I was blinking to it. And that name came instantly because when I found a lash vendor, the lash vendor was like, what is going to be your name? I said, blink into it. And y'all, not to be deep, but I got a little spiritual because I was like, there was so much about myself that I had to really blink into it and see the reality of Dre is so much in you and you don't even know it. until somebody else tells you. So I really had to blink into who I really was, and then that's how my lash line came about.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing the story.
Yes, sir.
So let's wrap our attention back to Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer. Now, have you taken any road trips with the choir? Like, where have you been with the choir? Let's talk about your experiences with the choir.
My first road trip, I believe we went to Detroit. We sang for I forget, it was like a TV series or something that was going on. That was my first road trip. But recent years, I think it was last year sometime or this year, we went to Iowa. And that was the best experience ever. Because we heard about so many stories like Larry Beasley, Michelle Brown, different ones, how they would act on the bus, what they would be doing on the bus. And if you were a newbie like myself, they would do little things like to mess with you or something, just out of fun and stuff like that. And so I was really looking forward to that, and I was on my P's and Q's. And then of course, us newbies, like, we're gonna stick together. So if they try to come for us, we got this, you know. But it was really fun. It was like, it's so family oriented at Cosmo, and that's what I love the most about the bus ride as well. So Sharonda Jacqueline, that's one of my peers. Of course, Elder Charles.
Elder Charles, we love you. What's the song you do? Help
me.
You sound just like your grandfather.
He do, don't he? Who else? It's so many of us. Of course, Elder Antoine Taylor.
Man, he's doing a phenomenal job.
He is. Our minister of music, amazing job. It's so many. We got Diamond Dixon, who, I don't know if y'all know who Caruana Dixon is. She's the one that sings Meet Me. Her daughter, Monique Johnson. It's just everybody. Martez Poindexter. I'm sorry, co-pastor Martez Poindexter. It's so many. Alexis Gibson. It's a lot.
Wow.
I love everybody, and that's everybody.
What's up. Now take us into a Cosmo rehearsal. Like, how is that like?
So it's fun. We are very silly, okay, at Cosmo. We have too much fun sometimes. And what I love, my first Cosmo rehearsal, let me say, I wasn't used to that. I'm used to rehearsals being strict, boring, good word, and straight to the point. But when the spirit overtakes a Cosmo rehearsal, it's like, I can't wait for Sunday. Because Sunday is going to be something different. And sometimes we don't even make it through the songs. So,
who teaches?
So our minister of music, shout out to Minister Antoine Taylor.
Okay, so he teaches the parts. Now, do you all have section leaders now?
We do have section leaders. And sometimes what Minister Antoine would do, we'll have our own section leader rehearsal. And then section leaders, I need you to stand, sing this whole part through, and then he'll stand the rest of the section up, and then they sing it as a whole, and then we put it all together. And I really love it because it's very productive, and rehearsal is smooth.
That's what's up. So look, my thing is, okay, so when I used to go to Cosmo, like, I love their music, right? And then like there's sing something that they didn't record. So I'm like, oh my God, you all have all this music, you're singing this song. So that alludes to this question, like, how are the songs picked or select?
That's a good question. Let me go back to what you said. We got all of these songs, but we sing. I actually love that because most of the time people are always giving homage to Cosmo, and I think it's really good and for Cosmo to almost like give back, if you will.
I love it. Okay.
Because it's like, let's sing their song, and then people are so honored. Cosmo sang my song, so I think it's a good thing. But the song picking thing, I think that's just based off of.
Do they give you, like, how do that go?
I mean, yeah, I think they're open to suggestions. But you know what? At Cosmo, you never know what you're going to sing. Let me say that. So you might have rehearsed, Mary had a little lamb, and you saying, Jesus, oh, what a wonderful child. And so that's why I said they gave me all of these albums, learn the Cosmo music, because you just never know at any time they're going to throw out this song. So sometimes it's random. You don't know. You might rehearse you singing one of your songs that you lead, but the spirit or pastor may say, I know we didn't rehearse this. But so you got to be on your P's and Q's there, and that's what I love about it.
I want to ask you this too. So like, as you sing tenor in the choir, like, say for instance, like the person behind you is kind of pitchy or whatever the case may be. How do you all help the choristers, get back on course, like if there's a situation like that?
So as professionals, we don't, baby, you all, you know, we don't do that. But um, like for me, let's just say somebody is off per se. There's a way to clap and kind of sing if you can, but without making a scene. And then maybe later on say, hey, my brother, my sister, on this song, this note was blah blah blah. Or the next time we have rehearsal, can we go over yada yada yada, and then tenor part specifically, and then that's how we go about it.
Really?
But no, we want to keep it professional, very classy, very demure, as they say, and we'll get it later. But right now we're in worship.
That's what's up. Now you have a song on the latest project.
I do.
Now let me ask you this question. Now, did you go back and listen to Michelle, that the older version?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about how was that song introduced to you, first and foremost?
Pastor said, you're going to sing. And I was like, me? Because, first of all, Michelle Brown left no crumbs on that song. And then Jessica Head, who later then took the song over. And then I'm like, what is little old me going to do with the song? And I don't really have a squall like they do. And that's what I love about both of them. The energy they bring. And they can stand flat-footed in squall. I'm like, I don't have that. That's not me. So they flipped it and they made it to accommodate me. And so I'm honored to actually even sing a song that Michelle Brown, and even shout out to Jessica Head, who's still at Cosmo and doing her thing.
We've been made and do it for a night.
And that's the part I was worried about. I said, I can't do it. Not me. But yeah.
Wow, man, I'm really having fun with you. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
so I want you to talk to Gospel Diaries. Give them some encouraging words for this Christmas season.
Okay, so encouraging words. Like I said, my favorite scripture is write the vision and make it plain. That's Habakkuk 2:2. And literally in everything that I do, I try to put my stuff before God. Get you a piece of paper and say, God, I need you to do this. And before you know it, God, first of all, God will provide. That is my favorite. Pastor says that all the time, and every time he say it, it really touches me. And even in this season, I know a lot of times with the holidays, it could be challenging because your loved ones might have went on, or just money. Economy's down. People can't get enough pay.
You should have sang that.
But even in this season, we have to learn to always give thanks and keep going no matter what. I know stumbling blocks may come, but you got to keep going. Listen, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And your morning may not be at 8 a.m. Your morning may be p.m. And I think a lot of times people look at, okay, y'all say joy come in the morning. It's morning, Lord. Where's my joy? Listen, he'll step in just when you need him most. Wow. Look, I'm giving all them Cosmo songs in there. Y'all didn't keep that.
So you heard it from Andre Cunningham. You know, sometimes, you know, people, a lot of people see you on Cosmopolitans on the service, but they don't even follow you on social media.
That's true.
So this is an opportunity for people that don't follow you to hear you vocally. So I think this is awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say something, but I'll leave it in the hands of the Lord. Wait. Okay, so have you looked at any of the old Cosmopolitan Church of Prayer videos and things? So, what is something that you've learned from Father Hayes that you still hold dear?
So unfortunately, I never got the chance. I wish I would have. I never got the chance to meet him. But I can see, because I think some people try to portray him as this mean man. I never got to meet him again, but you can see the love. It was probably tough love, but you can tell from what I've heard from stories that he loved you. And what I loved most about him is he loved his people. Even his singers, you can see it. You can, like, when they get to going and the mic tosses and all that stuff like that. I really love how engaged he was. So that's what, because Pastor Darrell is I'm telling you, that's little father too, and people don't know that based on the stories and stuff that I heard. So yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
On top of that, it's been a joy. And as I always say, listen, love on someone, and trust me, you will change a life. Merry Christmas to you guys. Tell people Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Bye. Hi, Eric Maurice Clark here, sharing ways that you can support Gospel Diaries. First and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in this platform, and let's support every artist that appears on this program. All right, so we do have a magazine. It's entitled The Gospel Music Gazette, and you can obtain a copy by going to ericmauriceclark.com. That will help us share and help spread our purpose here at Gospel Diaries. Also, you can donate by way of Zelle, Cash App, or traditionally through mail. We do appreciate you, and as I always say, love on someone and you will change your life. Bye.